it was a tough game. Poland obviously tested us in the second half a lot, but I think we responded well and did a good job to keep them out of our goal, and glad to get the 3 points. Obviously, glad to finally do a celebration at Freeman. I planned, obviously we have one planned every time one of us scores, so just glad, anytime you get to celebrate a goal, it's a good time, but means a little bit more when you are the one that scored it. But obviously, great ball from Eduard. I don't think the defenders expected it. He always told me he's going to look for me, so I was anticipating the ball, and he played an incredible ball, so I owe him dinner for that beautiful ball. Yeah, obviously with the 5 back, I feel like they did a good job to get numbers behind the ball, but I feel like we had our chances to, when we got the ball behind their midfield four, to go quickly, and I think they did a good job to get numbers behind the ball. And I think we had a few opportunities in the first half that we could have capitalized on, myself included, but I think they did a good job to get numbers behind the ball, but obviously, at the end of the day, we got the 3 points, and that's all that matters. Yeah, I mean, obviously he's an exceptional player. He's has a lot of experience, and he definitely brings that presence and on the field, and we obviously look up to him. And he's a very good player that controls the midfield for us, and moves a lot of pieces. And I think it's a blessing to have him on our team, and he has a great job facilitating the midfield, holding it down defensively, and most importantly, looking for forward passes, which he's a very good player at doing. Yeah, playing with him is a lot of fun. He loves to find man behind. He's very creative, and he tells me before every game just when I get the ball running behind. So that's the best thing as a striker, when you have a attacking mid that wants to find you, and he's one of my favorite players to play with. So yeah, it's definitely a good relationship that I have with him on and off the fields, and it's hopefully it's the first of many starts with him. Yeah, obviously, Wednesday night was a tough one for us. You never want to lose at home, especially in a cup game, and I feel like we were all very disappointed in the result Wednesday night, and Oscar told us to take it one game at a time, so we did our best to put that game behind us and just focus on Portland. And we know we've been doing very well with, was it 12 now consecutive unbeaten, so I think we just had to get ourselves in the right mindset and put that game behind us and focus on Portland, and we got the job done.
Last question, Austin.
Duncan, just your relationship with Alex. Obviously, he got the call for the U.S. men's national team. You were in his shoes last year. Is there any advice you were kind of giving him as he was getting that call and going into camp?
Yeah, he was asking me how much stuff he needs to pack for it, but that's about it. But yeah, I'm obviously very excited for him. He deserves it, and he's done very well for us this season, and I think he can, make an impact for the national team. So hopefully he gets his chance, and all the best to him in the national team level.
Now I'm very happy because it was a very difficult game. Of course, we wanted to win after last Wednesday. That obviously we lost, and mentally it's not easy when you get eliminated from a tournament. But it was good that we won today to keep going on the MLS, to be in the high of the table. We want to be there. Very tired, my friend, because it's not the same. Just train and run without the rhythm of the game, and even more difficult here in Orlando because the humidity always is difficult, even for us that we live here. But very happy for that. 90 minutes after a long period without games, and with a win, with an assist, and helping the team to win. Very happy. It's a very good night for me. Thank you, and was like a play after an attack and a rebound. I remember pass it to Ivan before that pass, and in the rebound I see the opportunity after a cross, because the line was like try to press after the rebound, and Duncan made a magnificent movement and thanks God that he shoot in the first time, because maybe if he controlled the defender with a slight tackle or something, maybe block the shoot. But he was very, very good, very smart to shoot in the first time, and we won with that goal. So very, very good for us. Mira, gracias primero, y somos muy ambiciosos. Desde el principio nuestro objetivo es claro. El año pasado ellos llegaron a la final de conferencia. Te mentiría si te digo que el objetivo es volver a llegar solo a la final de conferencia, porque queremos más. El año pasado tuve la oportunidad de ganar un título con el AFC en mi retorno a la liga, y me siento muy, muy contento de haber llegado a un lugar donde tienen los mismos objetivos que yo, que es ser mejor cada día y ganar títulos. Entonces no queremos ser un Orlando que solo divierte en la liga. Queremos que toda la gente hable de cómo Orlando juega y cómo Orlando gana cada partido, y cómo venir acá es una tortura para cualquier equipo. Look, after the last weeks that we play a lot of games, of course, to keep the energy all the 90 minutes is impossible. And we have to know how suffer sometimes in the game. Here in the league there is a lot of teams that work very well. Portland is one of that teams, and we just knew how to suffer and keep the serenity to wait until the end, or to maybe had an opportunity to score the second goal. That's all. Of course, we could do better. We had to do better sequence with the ball and keep the ball a little bit longer periods to rest and to keep the count of the game. But we have to keep growing in that situations.
Luis Pineda.
Thank you, Eduard. Congrats on the win. You obviously had a neck injury that you just recovered from. Has that had any influence in your preparation for this match? Any adjustments you had to make to prepare for this game? Because Portland is a very physical team. You've faced them before with LAFC. Thank you.
No, me and the team just prepared to grow in the things that we are good doing. The last 4 weeks, I didn't train with the team with contact, but I was there in every training, watching the movement, trying to don't lose maybe the memory of the movements that my teammates and I was doing before. So is that they helping me a lot. The staff also, Martin, el profe Oscar, with videos, with that they make everything easier to me to play, and thanks to them and the players also, my teammates, awesome with me. Mira, solo trabajar, confiar en lo que venimos haciendo. Obvio dolió, se sintió, el miércoles fue difícil, te podría decir que hasta el jueves fue difícil, pero después recuerdas la buena racha que traemos, la posición en la tabla que tenemos, y las buenas cosas que pueden venir si si rematamos esta serie de juegos que tenemos en este tiempo y nos motiva mucho el objetivo que tenemos, nos motiva mucho las cosas que podemos ganar y lo dejamos atrás. Claro, da mucha rabia no perder la oportunidad de ganar otro título, pero ya está.
Well, first, I would like to recognize the effort of the players today for that incredible first half that we had, and the tactical discipline that they kept in the second half when we needed, and our energy to push and press start getting lower. For the simple reason that we played 2 days ago and we bet hard in the last game in the cup. So all of that let us feel so proud about the effort, the performance, and beating a good rival as well, because Portland, I consider that there's a very good team and a very good team that take one shot in our goal, and that means a lot for us. So great 3 points, and we're ready to move on because we have another game in the middle of the week. But today is not that we needed to win, but we needed to have that performance that the players had in the first half.
Awesome.
Oscar, just kind of a tale of two halves where it felt like you had a lot of possession, a lot of chances in that first half. Second half, ceded a lot of possession to Portland, who were pushing for that equalizer. Just how proud are you, or just kind of can you expound on just the way the game kind of flowed within playing a lot more offensively in that first half versus the defensive shell that you had in the second?
Right. I may not exaggerate and say that this is one of the best performance in the first half that we have had, and it's true that the second half it was not similar. We start losing territory. Portland had the ball and not the opportunities, but they had the ball and the initiative. We couldn't get out from there. It was hard to keep the ball longer. It was hard for us to find our connections that we found in the first half. It was hard to retain the ball, especially in the last 10-15 minutes. Our sequence were shorter, but again, the way the team defend was super and let us have that feeling of solidness that we need when these scenarios happen or these games come or performances from the other team. So again, I'm proud. The boys deserve all the credit. You can believe the last 2 days bouncing back from that cup game and how they bounce back and support each other, and it was great night today.
Michael Citro.
Oscar, congrats on the win. A lot of times when guys come back from injuries, you're careful with them, maybe play them 20 minutes at the end of the game, half a game, whatever. Eduard goes out there and plays the whole game and rewards you with an assist. What does his return mean for Orlando City?
Eduard has a special characteristic that we can use any game. Is his connection, the way he connects, does all in the pitch. So the sequence is very clean. I was doubtful too about how much he can last, but Cesar hasn't. Atuesta hasn't stopped training, so hasn't competed much, but he has been training. So I think what the coaches has done with him on keep his level of fitness, knowing that not playing is not a good thing. But I was not to worry about it. He has experience, and again, Michael, he is a player who is fit and technical, and the way he sees it, the way he sees the game, it's for us is great.
Mike Gramajo.
Profe, I wanted to ask you, this is the 6th game you guys play this month. Just wanted to get your perspective on how the team has kind of been able to kind of handle that workload and getting these results at the same time. And obviously with 2 more games left before we end the month of May, how are you planning to approach, I guess, the recovery with the players to, I guess, get the most out of them to finish the month with more results?
Right. Yeah. We the game we played, the cup game, it just we spent some important energy there, but we knew it, and as you know, as we wanted to advance. It's not like I would take it lightly. So after the game, I felt like I could have done better on rotating some other players, and I was fearful of having today that necessity of that energy with some. But also something that is happening. But Duncan was fresh, Luis was fresh, Ivan was fresh. We got an important rotation there. Atuesta was fresh, and so having 4 players that we could rotate, it meant a lot. What happened is that our defenders and some other players are pushing a lot, but they prepare. I think it's a kudos as well for our coaches that they're preparing them very well, and we have a commitment internally. The boys had this commitment. They want to close this May and the top of the league, and seems like they can do that. So we'll see.
Luis Pineda.
Profe, ¿qué tal? Buenas noches. Quería preguntarle, Orlando hoy empató el récord de 12 partidos sin perder, una victoria contra un equipo muy defensivo como Portland, pero también cómo usted está visionando estas oportunidades que en ataque se le ha dado a Orlando, muchas, como unas 5 o 6 en cada mitad, para poderlas convertir con este horario cargado que tiene de partidos. Muchísimas gracias.
Bueno, yo creo que la frescura que podamos tener en los partidos es muy importante, porque tener energía a los jugadores, sobre todo los jugadores adelante. Si estás fresco, tenés más claridad en las definiciones. Hoy creamos muchas situaciones de gol. Yo acusaría un esfuerzo tan fuerte que están haciendo que a veces perdimos un poquito esa claridad, pero bueno, ganamos 1-0 enfrente de nuestros hinchas ante un rival muy fuerte, y los muchachos mostraron un carácter importante. Ahora nos prepararemos para Atlanta.
We'll go to Luis Mino.
Oscar, ¿cómo te va?
Hola,
Buenas
Luis.
noches.
Buenas.
¿Cómo estás?
Bien, gracias.
Me alegro. ¿Contento con el rendimiento del equipo durante todo el torneo en cuanto a que ya casi ni derrotas tienen? ¿Te das cuenta que el equipo cada vez funciona mejor?
Sí, además, Luis, porque lo que yo vi en el primer tiempo hoy fue muy bueno. Lo que pasa es que el segundo tiempo nos hundimos mucho y la pelota no la tuvo Portland. Entonces nos dejó la sensación de que no tuvimos la consistencia del juego que exhibimos en el primer tiempo. Pero yo lo que vi hoy del equipo me deja muy optimista. Además porque nos supimos defender. Portland nos tiró una vez al arco. Una. Eso es superlativo. Eso es un métrico muy fuerte. Nos deja contentos. Hay que mejorar muchas cosas, es cierto, pero vamos muy bien. Bueno.
We'll go to Michael Citro.
Oscar, Eduard talked about how the team had to suffer in the second half, and mentioned, maybe there were some things they could have done to take the pressure off for a little bit and get some rest. What did you see from your team in the second half, and what did you see from Portland that was allowing them to stay in the attacking half?
Right. In the first 15 minutes of the second half, we have the opportunity to manage the game and keep the same keep the same mode that we had from the first half. I said to the boys, we need to keep it. We need to be patient, and let's see if we can last longer with this effort that we're doing in the first half. I knew, Michael, that it was too much to ask them, because they played 2 days and a half ago, and especially our defenders. Our midfielder is returning from a month, and that happened. We started just lowering our connection, and we started losing the ball too often. And Portland believe in the game and what we decide, not just the player, but me too. From the bench, I say, well, we're going to defend. We try with Martin and Ramiro to see if we can come out from that zone that we were not comfortable, but we couldn't do it. Not because them, but because Portland didn't allow us to do it, and they're a good team too. They are. But again, I was telling Luis that they took one shot, and that's a great metric for a team that wants to compete and be protagonists in the league.
Ronnie?
Profe Oscar, buenas noches. Ronnie Herrera para Citylenial Internacional. Profe, primero felicitarlo. Una excelente victoria el día de hoy después de una dura derrota entre semana. Y segundo, preguntarle sobre el partido, esa tercera zona, la última zona. Como usted bien lo acaba de decir, tuvieron bastantes oportunidades de gol. Quisiera saber si de pronto es la toma de decisión y si es así, ¿cómo la está trabajando?
Bueno, es verdad que tuvimos mucho volumen y muchas frecuencias y tuvimos muchas opciones de gol, especialmente en el primer tiempo. El segundo no. En el segundo tuvimos algunas opciones para contragolpear, pero la elaboración del primer tiempo fue muy buena y las opciones fueron muy claras. Como en la parte del técnico, uno generalmente habla de esa toma de decisiones, pero pasa, ¿no? Pasa. Tenemos un equipo que está haciendo muchos goles, venimos de marcar no sé cuántos goles en los últimos 4 partidos. Hoy nos toca irnos con 1, pero ganamos. Estoy tranquilo porque realmente el periodo que hemos tenido de conversión de goles es muy alto. Entonces, a veces no se puede marcar 3 o 4 y hoy marcamos 1 y ganamos. Es muy, muy contento.
All right, Austin, last question.
Oscar, today's win marks now 12 unbeaten in MLS regular season play, tying your record from your first year back in 2020. Just what from your perspective of, this team hasn't lost a league game since March 8th. What have you kind of attributed this run to, and just how tough of a run it's been to be able to get 12 straight unbeaten?
Apart from the talent and the capacity that our players have to have these performances and win games and keep our team in that mode, is that they trust us. I think that's a big reason. The tactical discipline that we have had in the last 2 or 3 games has been first class. And when you sense that the team believes on the idea and you see it, then you have a big chance to win games. But you have to have that quality of the players and also that mentality that they are developing within. You guys follow them and you see that this group, they love each other, and I have the fortune to coach them, and we will keep pushing.